Yeah. All right. So, uh, this is a quick explanation concerning the Week 5 project. So, we'll be walking through the step by step setup together later. So, I just want to explain the basics to be a previous understanding of the workflow before we get to the main deal of creating step by step. So, as we've explained in the introductory, so we are creating this to automate a lead capturing automation workflow to get a new lead, getting them from filling a form to record to enriching their data. After the enrichment, we take them to our database, which is the database for the company we are creating for. Don't make a mistake, we are creating this for a company, not us. So the database of the company, like a general sheet they use to record all their data, but you need to deduplicate. So you don't register a data twice. Then after that, we take it through the routing, agentic routing, which was required. And if you look at this properly, you are going to see three different routes. Which one goes to this end? The other ones going directly into our CRM, and the last one comes into our switch if node. So we'll be explaining this one after the other. So we collect we collected their data through the type form. What this means is they fill up a form you created through type form. Let me let me show you how it looks like. So let's say form type form. Okay, yeah. So this is an example of how a form. Okay, so this is an example. So you can see here we are it is getting their email. So this is going to get their email and also their company name. So so once they fill this up, because I have not triggered the workflow. If I have triggered it, I would have shown you. So once they fill something like this, so you have to set it actually use Typeform. You can alternatively you can also use Google Form. So once they click on this submit, this workflow, once you make it active, it will be listening. It will be listening to the submission. Once they submit it, this node is going to trigger automatically without you this is a manual triggering, but this one is going to be an automatic trigger. So once they submitted it, it will trigger by itself and this workflow will start to work. So that is what Typeform actually means. So and what they are okay, let me take you to the brief introductory. So let's not dive in deeper. So once you get them recorded into your Google Sheet, which is the general database, like every data is recorded here. All data is recorded there. Their name, their blah blah blah, everything you record it here. So but then from here, you are now seeing three branches. The first one is for you to assign a sales rep or a sales manager to the new lead you got. So we are getting a lead through this form. The lead is going to fill up the form. They submit their name, their company name, their company size, uh series of details you are going to require from them. So if it is meant for a standard brand actually, so you collect series of data from them through this Google form. So you create series of steps for them to fill up, and once they fill it up, the data will come inside here. So regarding the data they submitted, you will be able to access their company size using one of the enrichment nodes we are supposed to use. So but based on what I explained to you, this that is not used, but I will be showing you what I use once we got there. So once you've gotten the leads, we have them in different level. They said they want you to assign those with 50 employees, like the company size. If it is up to 50 employees, you should assign them to what? Your senior sales staff, your senior sales manager, that you should give them high priority for a senior staff to attend to them in order to close them properly. And if they have a company size which is less than 50, you assign them to what? A junior sales rep to attend to them. And here, what we are doing here is we are sending DMs directly to these people. We are sending DM to the manager to know that, okay, we've gotten a new lead for you. We are open this. So this, oh, sorry, I'm not opening it yet. So you send a message to him on his Telegram for him to know, okay, a new lead has come which has a company size which is up to 50, and I'm the one who needs to attend to it. You send a message to his Telegram. Then after that, you have to register a board, a Trello board, and that is what you are seeing here. So you create a Trello board by yourself, and in the Trello board you create lists. So I will show you how that looks like. So then what you are doing is you are creating a card. You create card on Trello for the new lead. So you will see how it looks later. So, and if any of them, if while you are enriching, probably any of the mails that was submitted, there is an error enriching a certain mail. If there is an error, you have to record that as a failure, and you notify the team through Slack by saying enrichment error. So that is what you'll be sending to the Slack. That is what you'll be sending to this Slack which you are seeing here. That is the enrichment error. And after this node, what you should remember is an automation workflow. Everything runs at once. It's not like it will go like this, and after everything go here, maybe the next 1 hour it will come here, after 2 hours it will come here. No, everything runs within 10 seconds. Everything you are seeing on this screen, if there is no delay from any of the platforms end, because you are seeing we are having different nodes and there are different platforms, if there is no delay, everything you are seeing on the screen should run within 10 seconds, max 20 seconds. Everything will run, and all these system will work properly. Everything will be sent to where it is supposed to be sent to. And so that is for the sales manager. So, and here is to record into our CRM. And what a CRM means is like a customer relationship management database. So in the assignment, they said we should use HubSpot. They said we should use HubSpot. But here, I am using Airtable because I got few error using HubSpot, like it was delaying sending the data. Then I have to, like, okay, let me just use Airtable instead. So because if we are on this training, Airtable shouldn't be a new platform to you. We are all used to it since week 2. We don't use this Airtable. So almost everyone here knows how to use Airtable, and that's why I think it is. But you need to learn HubSpot. Please learn HubSpot. At least understand their interface, how it works, how to set it up. At least. So because I know I did the same thing. So I set it up and notice how it works. So because some people you want to work with might feel like, okay, I don't know how to use Airtable. I'm good at HubSpot. It is HubSpot I want you to work with for me. So that's why you need to learn it. So, and also for this messaging, I'm using Telegram. Some might request another messaging platform which you might need to learn how to use. Maybe something like Facebook, and you should know how to use it. So we need to just, like, okay, you should make yourself versatile. So you don't just learn one and be like, I don't know this one, I know the. So, like, for example, now you are using anything currently. This same thing you can also do it on make.com. So you should, like, learn this and learn that, just in case it is coming from any end, you'll be able to work on it. So now, then after you got it here, you have to register it to your CRM. After your CRM, you want to send message to Slack that, okay, you have registered something in my CRM, in your CRM. So this is their channel, the companies you are setting this guy up for. This automation workflow, you are setting it up for the company. This is their Slack channel. for receiving leads notification. You send it to the Slack channel that okay, you've gotten a new lead for you, go and check him out. So that is why we have this Slack channel. And also you see we have error. Let me zoom in. You can see this is success and we have error here. I will show you why we have this success and error and what actually leads to this. So when we have error, you send message to another messaging platform that, okay, which is in their Slack. Okay, there is an error reading somebody inside your Airtable, so please go and check it out and know how to work on it by yourself. So that is what this message is for. And okay, okay, the person's mail will be sent. The person's mail will be, don't worry, I will show you that. I will open it and dive deeper. So the next one is the demo request. Demo request. Like, do they request for a demo or not? Do they request for demo or not? So when you are registering, you are creating your form. In your form, you should you should identify whether you want to receive they want a demo, like the lead. They are signing up. Please try to understand this logical. They are signing up. So when they are signing up, you will create a space for them. You say demo request. Will you like to have a demo or not? You ask the question, and in the options you might use a drop down this thing that, okay, like single select. Like if they click on it, it will be yes or no. They can choose one of the two. Do you want a demo request? They will choose yes or no. So that is how you set that up. And if they request for demo, that means the demo request is going to be yes. And if they don't want, it is going to be no. So they ask us to send okay, that's why we are having this branch here. So if they want a demo, you give them this demo message. But if they don't want a demo, he said was we should send a thank you message. A thank you message must be sent to them. So you send the message to them, and after you send the message, they said we should wait for 3 days. Let me show you that. So after, okay, coming, coming, coming. So no, okay, yeah, this is it. So once they register, you send a thank you message to them, and you now wait for 3 days because you've sent a thank you message to them. You want the team to work on the new leads. So after 3 days, you now check again. As the team work on these people, this new lead that I sent to them, have they work on his data or not? So that's why we are having a wait node. That's why we are having a wait node here. So it waits for how many? 3 days, which is what we saw on the. So you can see, where is it? Sorry, 3 days. This is 3 days. If no status update, send reminder. So you now see we wait for how many days? 3 days. In this wait node, I will show you how it looks like. Then after that, you now search the Airtable to know whether they have updated the person status or not. So if it has been updated, that means you now have what is it called? You will have the details. Then after that, you do the if filtering, then you send another follow-up message. But if the team has worked on him and they have switched his status from new to in progress or whatever, that means this person will not be sought into this list. That is why we are having this if, and we see how it works later. Now, yeah, let's get back to the beginning. All right, so you can say I'm having 2 triggers. It is possible you can have 3 triggers, you can have 4 triggers, 5 triggers, anyone that you like. Maybe through a form they will register. Maybe you are using a Google form, or this one is type form. So you might be like you want to make use of type form and Google form at the same time. So you can use type form for here, and also Google form, which is going to be connected to a Google sheet. You connect it to a Google sheet, and you can also use that as a trigger. So learn how to do that, please. So you connect it and use that as trigger, and it will trigger this automation workflow, and it is going to be the same settings as this type form. So everything will work normally. So but we are using type form here. I told you how to set it up. Go to type form, set it up, and to connect your type form, you can see this. You create new credential. You get your access token in your type form. So you get it in your type form. So once you got it, you insert it in there and you click on save. It will show up and it will bring up the form you have in that. So you can say I have just two forms. That's why you are seeing the two forms here. So you can say simplify answer, only answers, blah blah blah. Top. That one no concern us. So now after you've gotten the data, now you want to enrich the data those people submitted. Is it really true? Abi it is not true. So we are going to be using what? Hunter.io. After Hunter.io, we are expected to use Clearbit. After Clearbit, IP info. So that is working on the each of the data they submitted. So those guys are nodes or APIs which you are going to be using to verify the data they dropped. And now, okay, let me address that. So the issue is before you can use Hunter.io, I spent 2 to 3 days working on that without. I see no way to like maneuver getting a work email, especially for Hunter.io. Very tough, very tough. So that's why I later come up with this trick I'm going to be showing you. So before you can use Hunter.io, you must have a work email for you to sign up. So after work email, you then go to Hunter.io and sign up with them. So if you want to use their node, it is here. So you just type Hunter, you can see. So this is Hunter.io, you can see it here. So once you click on it, you click on verify email, then you input your access token which you get in their website, but which I wasn't able to get because you need a work email, please. If you don't have a work email, you cannot do it. And the easiest way to do it, though I supposed to do, but if I should do it, it won't be easy for others who doesn't have access to do that, because I have a domain, I have a website, so I can use the website to get the work email. I wanted to proceed and work with that, but I felt like if I should do it, what of others who can't get a domain? How will they get their work email? So I come up with this trick I'm using. So I actually went through series of bombardments. I went to brainstorm, and so this, what you can see here is the lead. You can see lead here. This is like a lead. Come in and fill up the form with these details. You can see these details. Then what you are searching here is that you give it to Hunter.io. This is how the Hunter.io result is going to be like. You can see something like this. We have the score. What is the Hunter.io scoring is the email. So maybe you are going to set your own score to, like, if it is not up to 50, that means it is not valid. So but you can see now the scoring is 91 and Hunter.io is saying it is invalid. So that means the email is not invalid. That means it is not going to pass through the enrichment stage. Get that, please? It's not going to pass through the enrichment stage. And also Clearbit, this is how its own result is going to come out like. So the company they started during the registration, so it will now it will check the email with their company and bring out their company's name. Also, the company size, the size of their company will be shown. Their gender will be gotten by genderize. The IP info works to get the city location and the country, and the non-verified will verify their number. So but what I did here is I actually formulated the code. I forged this, and it is in form of a result from all these API. So like this is how what we are supposed to get after using all these APIs, these Clearbit, blah blah blah, to do the enrichment. This is how the result is going to look like, which I already generated. I will share this with you, so I will share it with you for you to also to be able to use it. I actually got 30 results. You can see we have 30 here, so you can see 30 items. So that means you have 30 leads to work on in your workflow. So I think that should be okay for us. So after you generate this guy, you enrich. So what we did here is we've collected the lead data and we enrich everything, and we are taking it to the next step, because if you cannot do this guy, you can't proceed. So that's why we need a way to maneuver. We need a way to maneuver, and like, okay, so after we are able to cross this section, we can carry it into our Google Sheet. And every other thing here, you don't need to sign up for anything, so you can do it free. You can do everything free. except this guy, except this guy. So if you don't have a work email, you cannot use hunter.io, clearbit. I don't know about the rest, but those two, since I noticed they are not going to work, I just find a way to, like, okay, to to escape it and work with it. So I will send this to you. Kindly request for it. I will send it to you if I forget, and you can work up with it. So the duplication is, you don't want to register a record that is being registered before. A record that is being registered before, you don't want to register it again. So though I said I noticed there was an error while I was reading the introduction, if you don't forget that. So I noticed there is an error. So I set it up in a wrong way, but still we can work with this. So because I am using append or update, so the error I noticed is, they said you should update the team, you should notify the team if there is any update in the details you've registered before. I don't know, maybe you remember that. So, like, maybe before you've gotten a certain number, certain name for their company, and they are changing any of it. So you should update the team before you are going to update this sheet. So that is what they are saying. But what I did is, I'm just doing append or update. So, and what this one is going to do is, it is going to check into the mails. It will check into their mails and see, does the mail exist before, these mails, this registered mail. Every details you submitted, it is only the email that is unique. So if you check the email, if it is unique, if it is there before, that means it will check the other data that are in the email row, and update them to what is being submitted afresh. But if it is not there before, it will now append, it will add it to the one that was there before. That will make a new row. But if it is there, it will just update and leave it that way. Nothing is going to change. So, and I believe you all know how to connect a Google Sheet. So this Google Sheet I'm using, so you learn how to connect it. It is not hard. Just click on creating new credential, connect your Google Sheet, and that will activate it already. And in your Google Sheet, you must first of all create these headings. You name it, like this. Name the sheet you want to use, if it is sheet 1 or sheet 2, so you can rename it as I did mine. So, but you must insert the headings, these titles, you must insert them in your Google Sheet before connecting it to what, to your anything, for you to see all the details as I'm saying them here. So notice, I see name, phone, gender, everything is in my Google Sheet before. You can see them. So don't make that mistake, please. You have to come and do it by yourself. This one, it will not be done for you. Do it by yourself. You must do the work. So you do everything by yourself, fill it in. So, and once you are done, it will be shown up here. But so after you connect, you want to connect, you once you connect the Google account, which is the Google Sheet, what you want to do is you want to append or update. So from list, it will show you all the Google Sheets that is connected to that account, all the Google Sheets. So that is what you can see here. So the one I want to use is this guy, which I so, and the sheet on that with the document is hunter.io, so which I'm connecting. Then you now see map each column manually. This is compulsory. You map manually, don't do automatic. So if you do automatic, it is not going to allow you to be doing all this we are doing it. So now the logic here for the update, this is very important. We want to use the email because every client is dropping unique email. It's not possible for two companies to be using the same mail. So this one is using a certain mail, other one is also using another mail. So the two are having different mails. So we are now mapping the email because it is unique. We want to map it. So the column we want to use for our updating or appending. So this is the column. It is going to check the email column. If it is there before, that means it is not going to append, it is not going to add that new email to the Google Sheet. But if it is not there, that is when it will now add it. So for now, the values to send, we are sending email. We want to use the email field, email column, to what, to do the update. Now you pick this one after the other, so you can see everything is here. This is the email using to match. You just come here and carry this guy the normal way we used to do it. You map everything, so the name which you have created in your Google Sheet before will show up here. And you know the name is normally it is here, the first name you carry it, phone number. So the name, I merge everything, so you might decide to do your own separately and say first name here and last name here. So you just carry first name in place of first name, and the last name you just come and carry it in the place of last name. Then phone number, you come here, you carry the phone number. The gender, you go to genderize output, genderize this guy, you come out, you carry it. City, you come to the IP info here, you come and put the city or country rather. Then demo request is it is from your form you ask them to fill up. So you check whether the demo request, so it is going to be there. You just come here and pick the demo request and drop it here. So that means the value that is here is going to show up. So you can see this is showing up for this is showing false. So that means this is what will be shown in what in your Google Sheet. So this one are just JSON code. They are JSON what JSON code. So don't make mistake. Then the company name, you come to here. Where is this clear bit? So you can see the company name here. Company size, you can see it in clear bit as well. So I believe this is perfect. You might decide to add for yours and say okay, you want to use this hunter.io as well. You might decide to add a email score. This email score, you add it to your Google Sheet. It is going to be here, email score, and also validity, email validity. So if it is valid or not, you just carry your this guy, put it at the email score, the valid, and put what is there. So for it to be a master database, you are setting up a master database. So after that, once you are done registering this guy, so then we now are going to the agentic routing. So, and these three routes I will explain to you. The first one is meant for what? Assigning leads to what is our sales team, the companies who we are creating this automation workflow for. This is their what sales management team who used to tend to new leads, like the new leads that you got for them through this form. These are the people who are going to be attending to the leads. So the first one, they said if the company size is more than 50, based from the assignment, if the company size is more than 50, assign the person to what? A senior manager. If it is less than 50 or equals to 50, assign it to what? A junior sales rep. So you can go back to the introduction to check. And okay, so these two. So that means to do this, what are we using? The company size. We are using the company size to differentiate. So that's why we are now using a switch. So this node is a switch node. Switch node. So and the code, that code, you can just type code, you see the code node. So this is a switch node. So then what are we using to differentiate? And again, if you want to add route, because if you start you might not see all these guys, you need to click on this add routing. So the first one is what? The okay, we want to send out three different exits. First one for what? Sales, senior sales manager. The second one for a junior sales manager, and the last one for enrichment outcome. If the enrichment fails, like when you are enriching their emails, if it's failed or invalid, that means you'll be sending it back to what one of the sales attendants as their. So you can see it here, this is it. So if it fails, that's why you have this third one. You'll be sending it to your what? Sales, the company's Slack channel, that okay, there is an email that was registered into the form, which through verification it failed. Maybe you should go and give it a check, like you send it to them through their Slack. So that is the outcome that will be coming out from here. So how we set that is very simple. So the first one is you want to assign it to what? A senior sales manager. So you just carry here, you come here and look for the company size. Where is it? The company size. Okay, this is it. You can see the company size here. Company size. So if you cannot see it, maybe you didn't put it in your Google Sheet, you can just click on this drop down and come to this submission enrichment, and you see it in your what? Clear bit. You can see company size here. You just carry it and drop it here. So you drop it here. and you now set this to be because you want, they said if it is greater than, but note please, you are saying 65 here, and in the assignment they said 50. So let me address that. The mistake is that in my own, the data I generated, so they started from 55, 58, 59. So it isn't giving an opportunity to use 50 as the band, as the separation bound. So it goes above 50. So that's why I now separated using 65, and that actually helps me to categorize them into two places, which I am having 15 who surpass 65, this band gap. See, 15 of them surpasses it, and 15 were below what? They were below it. So that's why you're now saying me using 65. So because if I should use 50, it won't work. So let me show you the company with its lowest sizes. So this is the lowest size, 51. So if I should use 50, definitely everything will be coming out through the what? The junior sales rep. But now I need to separate them into two. That's why I now use what? 65, which is the margin for my data which I generated. So just use the same thing, but this is very necessary and compulsory. So you want to use the company size, and it is in number, in number, this number. So now you said Jason company size, you now say is greater than, because you want it to be greater than 65, which is your margin. So in the assignment, if you are using what is there, it's supposed to be 50, right? So it's greater than or equal to 65, and that means everything that is coming out through this exit will now be sent to what? The senior sales manager. So you are not going to see all these guys. You will not be seeing them until you execute the step. So you will not see all these guys. You execute before you see them. So you send it out through the senior sales. Now you can rename it, because if you don't rename it, you just say, I think exit output one, output two. So you just rename it and put senior sales. And for this guy, we want to send those that are going to the junior sales rep. Now we take the company size as well. We are using 65 as the margin, the bound, the margin, right? So what we want to do now is less than or equal to, in the assignment they say is less than or equal to 50, but here we are using what? 65. So we use 65 and we rename it to be junior sales. That means anything that comes out through this exit will be junior. Anything that comes out through the first exit will be senior. That is the difference. And the last one is now the failure in enrichment. So the mistake I think I made here, I just noticed it. I didn't notice it before. They said if the enrichment fails, that is when we are sending this out. So I now carry the email. I carry this email. So the email here, yes, so the email here was what I carried and put, but it was supposed to be from the results from what? Onta.io, which is here. So you can see this invalid or valid. So this outcome, this is how the output on Onta.io normally comes out. If the email is valid, you will see valid here. Okay, let us check. You see this guy is invalid, right? Onta verification status is invalid. Let us check for the second one. You can see this guy is valid. That means the email is valid. So that means we need to carry this enter verification and put it here. Then you now say if it is invalid. If it is invalid, that means it doesn't pass the enrichment test. So that means it should come out through the error exit. So now we say enrich error, and that means we'll be having some emails that will be coming out through here. Don't worry, when we are setting it up together, we will see how this is supposed to be in a normal sense. So now any error that comes out through here should be sent to the Slack team, and for them to go and check, is the email really a normal email or not. So once they got this message, they will have to, okay, the message you are going to be sending to them will be, there is an error login client with the email blah blah blah. So something like this. So into the Airtable record, kindly visit you can check the Google sheet, because that everything is being registered there already. So you can say for into the Google sheet. So they will check using this email that failed. but we see a possible, we will see a real result tomorrow when we set it normally as invalid. Something are going to come out from here. So now, once this is clear, right? This is clear. So that means from what we explained here, the senior is attending to any company that have more than 65 employees. The junior is attending to companies with lesser or equal to 65 employees in their companies. So now from here, we are supposed, they said you should create a Trello board which is going to have a card for the new lead on what, on the Trello board. For who? For this senior manager. Like whenever a new lead is being sent to his Instagram, Instagram DM, a new Trello card should be created automatically for what? For the new lead as well. So this Trello, I will show you how it looks like. So the message you are sending to the Telegram is in this format. Is in this format. So you create now this ID you are seeing here. If you are running it for an external client or a company, this ID must be their Telegram ID, not your own ID, because they are the ones to be receiving the message, not your own ID. You create a bot, for them. You create a bot, Telegram bot for them. You can create it by yourself, but you must ensure your bot has sent a message to them. Your bot must have sent a message to them before. So if it sent a message to them, that is when your bot will be able to be sending automatic message to this ID. But this ID must belong to the person that wants to be receiving the message, which is the senior staff manager. Sha. So that means you need to collect his Telegram ID and put here. So this is the message format: new lead captured, name, email, company. So you know how to do this. You type the name by yourself, then you come and carry this name something and put it here. So you put it here to put it in form. Then the email, you type this one by yourself. You do the colon, then you come here and put the. So what this do is like it will be filling up the. Let me look for outputs. Let me look for outputs. Which was uh, this text. Okay, so you can see this is how it looks like. So you now see this email. You can see the email user 17 at example.com, which is the email. But if you check the normal something, it's not going to look like this in Telegram. It will look like the way, exactly the way I typed it here. This is how it will look like. So in Telegram. Now, and you must ensure you put it in expression format, not fixed expression format, for you to be able to type it in a form of long text like this. You set it up and you click on execute step for the message to be sent to what, to your Telegram. You do the same thing for the junior staff, but you know that this junior staff is receiving for those with company size lesser than 65. The senior staff is receiving for the company greater than 65 based on what you set inside this switch node. Now after you do that, you have to create a Trello board. So now an example of a Trello board is this. Let me show you how it looks like. So this is a Trello board, everything here. So and this is a card in a Trello board. This is a list. This is a list. Everything here is a list. This is another list, and this is another list. That means we have three lists in this board. We now have cards: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have series of cards which we created from the automation we set up. These are cards we have from there, and you can see there are many. There are many. So we have many of it here, and it works. That means it works. So these are sent from what, anything. So and how this works is you connect your Trello. You connect your Trello to anything. You can see it here. But you create this board. You create it readily. You create the board readily. You create the list readily. But you will not fill it up. To create a list, you just click on this guy, add another list, you type the list name, and you leave it. So you have to come and connect. You get the list ID. You get the list ID. You get the list ID and you use the ID here. This is it. The list ID where the card will be sent to. So this is the card we are creating. We create a new card, and the name for the card, this is it. So I'm using their email, their first name and last name as the, where is it, where is the name. Okay, you can basically come here and choose something because this guy seems complicated. So you can just come here and use the name here. So I'm using new senior. That means it is meant for senior staff, and the name, I put it in front of it. So the description of the card, once they click on the card, once they click on the card like this, the description. So let me show you how the descriptions look like. It looks like, uh, what's going on? Okay, let me continue with this. So this description is going to look like this, to show everything that is here. And you know what this really means is their name will show, their email, everything will now show in the what, the Trello. If you can see the name, this is it, the email. So once a sales manager enter into this board, this guy will automatically be here, and everything is going to be created as new leads, but he is the one to be taking it from new to in progress, and from in progress to acquired, and every new lead now will be in new lead. So once he is now working on it, he will just come and double click like this, he can drag and take them to in progress. You see, this guy now is now in progress. Once he carry it like this, he should also go into the year table to go and toggle their status, which is new. So it's he has to go and change it to what, in progress as well. So because we are also using this data to update our email that we'll be sending to them. Okay, so where is it? So okay, let me continue from here.